Do these 3 things every single day so you can turn from what is a difference, and then someone says, I believe in God. I feel like there's this notion that because I believe in God, that, oh yeah, I know who God is, right? I believe that there is a God, and that I believe that there is someone up above that exists, right? Who is a higher power that exists. But then you got someone over here who says they love God, right? Loving God means following God. That means being a follower of Christ. Someone that is a hearer, but not only a hearer, a doer. Someone that constantly and consistently lives for Christ, right? I hear these people all the time, right? I talk to a bunch of different people, colleges, right? Grocery stores, right? Just people around me in general. And they'll tell me, okay, I believe that there is a God, right? I believe that there is a higher power. I understand that. I think, everything wasn't created, by science, right? But for me, right, whenever I read, I understand there's a deeper meaning to it all. Me realizing this, I talk to certain people and they'll tell me like, okay, I feel like God is there, right? I believe that there is a God, but how can I fully inherit him, fully understand him? You won't understand him, number 1. Number 2, you can only inherit the kingdom of God, right? If you have faith, right? There is a difference between someone who is a follower of Christ and someone who believes in God, right? Because a follower will be willing to endure the cross, right? A believer won't, or someone that believes that there is a God won't understand certain things about why God does what he does, right? Because a believer can still question God, right? Even a follower can question God. A believer, someone that believes in God but isn't a Christian, isn't a baptized believer, doesn't have that relationship. Someone who is a follower of Christ has God, not necessarily always on their side, but someone to depend on, right? But you got someone who is a believer that's a believer that isn't necessarily having that same coexisting relationship, same growing relationship, right? Because we understand why God does the things they do. You hear God better whenever you desire God, right? You hear God better whenever you listen to God. But you got your believers who they believe that there is a God, but that doesn't mean you're listening to God, right? How can I have that intuition? That intuition comes from reading your word. You can believe that there is a God, but that doesn't mean you are studying your word and understanding him. You can believe that there is a God, but that doesn't mean you have that intimate relationship with him. But as a follower of Christ, that is something that comes with it, right? You are strengthening that relationship. No relationship. Now, how can one become and form a relationship with Christ? That is through understanding. That is through having a fire lit under you, a desire, right? I talked to one of my friends about this, and he says he believes that there is a God, and he says that is enough. We understand as true believers, that's not enough. You not actually chasing after God, because there's a difference between, right? We can talk about relationships. There's a difference between desiring a relationship, right? Wanting a relationship, and then, you believing in love, right? We know God is love, but someone that believes, that's just a regular belief, that's someone that believes that there is a God, may not believe in love because they don't know and don't have that intimate relationship with Christ. What am I trying to say in this video? You cannot understand what love is without understanding who God is. So just because you believe that there is a God, that he is alive, because you don't have that relationship, that intimate relationship with God, because you don't have this bond with Christ, you don't understand what a blessing may be. You may not even understand the difference between what Satan is trying to bring to the forefront. You may not understand what Satan is trying to bring to your forefront, or what God is trying to bring to your forefront. You won't understand the difference because you don't sit and read and understand the differences, right? God may be wanting you to go here, but you want to go here. But that's because you don't understand. That's because you're not praying. It's because you're not talking to God. It's because you're not reading your word. It's because you're not meditating on his word. Because you wouldn't know to do that because you only believe that there is a God. I want you to take these steps, right? Write down these steps every single day, because I'm starting to do these things. Do these 3 things every single day so you can turn from Not someone that just believes that there is a God, to someone that is a follower and a doer and a actual disciple of Christ. Number one, write down your prayers. Something I like to do is to write down my prayers, because I understand, like, I have a lot of thoughts in my brain. And once you get them out on paper, everything starts making sense. Number two, I want you to read at least a chapter or two a day of a book, right? You can start with Genesis. Read a chapter or two a day. That's how you start gaining consistency. That's how you start learning quicker. That's how you start gaining an understanding and comprehension for what God is trying to tell you. And number three, meditate on the word. At the end of each week, write down your thoughts on the word. Meditate on your word. As a matter of fact, after each and every chapter you read, meditate on what you just read. Do these three things, and as you continue to do them, you'll start having a fire lit under you for Christ. You'll realize this is not something that feels like a headache, that feels like it's stressful to do, but that's something that is a part of your lifestyle now. This is your life. Ultimately, leading you to becoming baptized and becoming a follower of Christ. Thank you for watching. As always, continue to chase God, continue to chase after his heart, and don't be a simple-minded fool, but be a person that is chasing relentlessly after what God has for you and for your life. On your life. Thank you for watching. As always, God bless.